Are you guys here? Anybody here? Alright. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And again, anybody can watch this since we'll be testing now on Friday. Like I said, guys, we're doing this as soon as I see you guys again, so we can move on to the next thing, because I want to start the mock trial. So let's go through this. So some terms, just in case. Well, I guess I should start at the top. Test question right here. I'm going to ask you what type of court system we have. Answer is dual, because we have state courts and we have federal courts. That's a test question right there, 100% of the time. The main job is to interpret laws. You should know that by now from when we did the branches of government. And it is really blurry. I don't know why it's so blurry. See if I can fix that really quick. Says it should be doing it in a much better quality than what it's showing on the thing. I'm too zoomed in. No, that's worse. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste this into the chat so those that are following along. That's the study guide right there that I posted into the chat. You scroll down to section 9, and that's where we're at. So you can follow along with me as we go, okay? I don't know why it's the quality. That's really annoying. I don't even know where I can fix it. Alright, so a lot of these terms to know are stuff we've gone over. Jurisdiction is who gets to hear the case. Original, basically where the case starts. Appellate, that's going to be they get to hear a case on appeal. Felony, serious. Misdemeanor, not so serious. So first we're going to talk about the federal courts. And these are three courts: U.S. Supreme Court, U.S. Court of Appeals, U.S. District. They're dealing with cases that deal with federal laws. So where's my image for this one? So if you remember, we did a little triangle worksheet for this one. And I know it's blurry, but you should have in your notes where it says U.S. Supreme Court, U.S. Court of Appeals, U.S. District Court. So U.S. Supreme Court, that's going to be your big one. They're going to have limited original. That means they go straight to the top, or appellate from the Court of Appeals. So they're taking the case from below them. If it is limited original, it means it's dealing with a constitutional issue. So like, it's going to be a big deal. It's dealing with freedom of speech, or it's dealing with your rights as a citizen usually. U.S. Court of Appeals only has appellate. Appeals, appellate, appeals, appellate. So they're only going to deal with cases that are being appealed from below it, which would be the U.S. District Court. U.S. District Court has a original jurisdiction for federal cases, because this is where they have to start. They only have original because there is no court below them to have appellate. So this only has original, and it's original for federal. So if you tried to rob a U.S. post office, you would be here. If you didn't like, if you feel like you got, bias or something was used against you wrongly, you could appeal it to here. And if the Supreme Court felt it was a big enough deal, they could appeal it to here. All right. So then we have state courts. And we've got them over here. And this time I'm going to do it backwards and go from the bottom up. So juvenile and domestic relations, this is basically if you as a student ever got in trouble, this is the court you would be in down here, juvenile. And, you know, juvenile is just the way of saying a child, meaning somebody who's not 18, got and broke the law. Domestic relations would be child custody, divorce, any of those things that are dealing with family, domestic. So this is going to be where those type of cases go to. If you're an adult and you get in any kind of trouble, that's not that big a deal. Like, obviously nobody wants to get in trouble, but like if you get a speeding ticket, general district. If you jaywalk, it would be general district. If you stole a candy bar, it would be general district. We're talking small crimes, they're going to be general district. This would be original jurisdiction for misdemeanors. It's because remember, misdemeanors are the small crimes. So this is the not so serious court. It's also going to be the one where, think of your Judge Judy's. This is going to be where small civil cases are going to go. So like if you scratch my car, and my car kind of sucks, and it costs $100 to repair, I would take you to this court, general district court. If you scratch my Lamborghini, you know, the one I drive in my dreams, if you scratch my Lamborghini and it costs like, I don't know, 50 grand to fix, I'm going to take you to circuit court because that's where a more serious case is going to go. So this one has two jurisdictions, original for misdemeanors and cases who are low money in Virginia, it's generally under $1,000. Circuit court is going to, and just to be clear, I'm sorry before I go ahead, these both, general district and juvenile, judge, singular, judge, no jury. So they both don't have a jury. And they have a judge. Just like I said, Judge Judy is just her. There is no jury. There's no other judges. Circuit court is going to have a judge, again singular, with the possibility, and most of the time having, a jury. These are going to be the felony cases, the murders, the arsons, the big deal cases are going to go here. If it was a civil case involving a lot of money, it would go here. And then as you, again, you can have appellate jurisdiction from the general district or juvenile in this case, but mainly we're focusing on this here. If you got that speeding ticket and felt like the cop, I don't know, just was outright rude and was looking to get you, and the judge agreed, and you have some kind of proof that you're able to get that shows it, you can appeal your case to circuit court. So circuit court has appellate jurisdiction from general district. Court of Appeals, again, has appellate jurisdiction only, and it takes it from the circuit court. And the Supreme Court has appellate jurisdiction from the Court of Appeals and limited original, meaning certain cases go straight to the top. These two, Supreme Court and Court of Appeals, have justices, no jury. All right. So back to this. Every state has their own court system. We went through all the courts. I think that's really it for the hard stuff right there. Alright, so that's the first test right there. Second test is really this one. So, the one court case, there's two of them you really gotta know, but the one you absolutely have to know is Marbury versus Madison. And it really comes down to two test questions that they're going to somehow try to ask you on this wall. One might say, Marbury versus Madison gave us what? Judicial review. Or they might say it backwards when they go, judicial review was established by what? Marbury versus Madison. So judicial review is not in the Constitution. It was given, or not given, but the branch obtained that power by reviewing this case, which you have in your study guide that we went over. The main job of the courts is to determine the constitutionality, and what allows them to do that is judicial review. Constitution, supreme law of the land, we've gone over that a bunch. And state laws have to follow the U.S. Constitution and the Virginia Constitution. 9C is what we're doing next. Don't worry about that. And then we have due process. Due process is protection against unfair treatment. So if you walked into, I'm the judge, and you walk into my courtroom and you're wearing a blue shirt and I hate blue, I can't just say go to jail for wearing blue. Okay, it means that you have certain rights you're entitled to. You're supposed to get a trial and so on. So it's protecting you against unfair treatment. We have two amendments. Now, first they made it for the 5th because that came first. We were worried about the national courts. Then, right after the Civil War, when the 14th Amendment was added, we added due process to the state courts. We wanted to make sure no state courts were treating anybody unfairly, especially since we were just now integrating former slaves, African Americans, into our civilization, or our, I don't want to say our civilization, but basically recognizing that they are citizens and giving them their rights. We wanted to make sure that no courts, most likely in the South, were going to try and do an end around and say, well, this isn't a federal court. So we made sure it was instituted everywhere for all courts that they had to follow due process. And due process essentially protects your Bill of Rights, making sure that your rights are protected and that they're being followed. All right. Anybody have any questions? I see only 5 people are watching. Let's make this a homework game for you guys. That way you guys can practice. We'll go to the 21st at 9:45 p.m. Let's do that. Alright, so there's number 558040. If you wanted to do some review, some practice, I know that you guys told me you wanted more review when you do when I do these reviews. So 558040. That way you guys can practice. Anybody got any questions for me? Alright guys, well, enjoy your snow day tomorrow, and I will see you on Friday.